Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how children learn language and their phonological development. The first thing is that babies are not born with the ability to speak, though phonology or the systematic organization of sounds into language begins quite early. Children don't really begin to speak in anything that approximates meaningful words until they are about 1 year old. But there are several major phonological skills that all of us acquire as children naturally. These abilities cannot be considered taught, as all children without major cognitive or physical challenges will acquire them. The first one is word awareness. This ability can help children to track specific words in a sentence, and most children acquire this ability between 1.5 and 2 years. The second one is understanding rhyme and alliteration. So by age 4, most children can understand and appreciate rhyming and alliteration. The third ability is syllable awareness, and at 5 years old, most children are aware of syllables and are able to manipulate them in a basic manner. The next skill is rhyme manipulation. Producing a rhyme is more difficult than understanding one, so this ability tends to be mastered by 5.5 years old. And the final one is phoneme awareness. This is the most difficult skill in phonological development and is gained between 6 and 9 years of age. Phoneme awareness is the ability for the child to manipulate phonemes, the smallest unit of spoken language. The next part is about stages. Although it's impossible to pin down specific stages for the way in which children develop their use of phonemes, as it varies so much from child to child, researchers have been able to point to general trends. It reveals that children are still learning to master phoneme production long into their schooling. And the general trends show us that vowels tend to be fully mastered before consonants, and consonants that appear at the beginning of words are mastered first, while those that appear at the end seem to cause the most problems. The final part I want to talk about is intonation. During the babbling stage, a child's utterance begins to develop patterns of intonation that resemble speech. Though unable to speak themselves, they have been experiencing their parents' use of intonation since birth. And during this stage in their development, they begin to reproduce some of the intonation sequences that adults use. For example, raising tones at the end of utterance to suggest a question, or intonations to suggest greeting, calling, and exclaiming. They can also be accompanied by gestures or facial expressions that reinforce the intended meaning, such as a hand pointing to an object, then using question intonation as if to ask, "What is that?" or "Can I have that?" As the child grows older and develops, she or he begins to use intonation more often and in more complex ways. It's especially noticeable during the two-word stage of language acquisition. That's all for this presentation, and thanks for watching.